This is Camp Congregation, featuring your camp counselors, Ben Flock, Corbin Jones, Alfonso Horn, Paul Sam Trombo, Dave Liner, Dr. Molly Miller, and your camp director, Sammy Miller.
good job, actually. See, I got my hair cut for the first time. I haven't been able to get to a barbershop. I let her do the sides, not the top. I'm gonna keep that bun going. I hope you guys are all doing safe, doing well. Today we're gonna talk about ragtime music. We're gonna talk about this new style, which becomes the foundation for 20th century American music. It's the most popular music at the turn of the 20th century. It becomes this craze. So before that, American march music was the most popular music, right? Which is boom, cha, boom, cha, boom, cha, boom. So what changes? When do people hear it? How are people gonna exchange these new ideas? How are people gonna even get hip to a new music, right? So it's the story of America trying to top what's going on in Europe. 1888, the World's Fair, which is the whole world gets together every 4 years to try to one-up each other, show what's the newest technology, maybe the electric current, maybe the telephone. 1888, the World's Fair is in Paris, and the Parisians go boom, mic drop, check out the Eiffel Tower. And people are like, what? That's crazy. What is it? It's a tower, Eiffel. 1892, the World's Fair is going to be the 400th anniversary of Columbus. So it's the Columbian World's Fair, right? No, whatever. So it has to happen a year later, actually, because they can't even get together in time. So 1893, the Americans are like, we need to top the Eiffel Tower. And so people come up with all these different ideas they send in, and they settle on the Ferris wheel. That's going to be the thing we're going to do to top the Eiffel Tower. And the Ferris wheel is cool. There's a lot of different stuff happening at the World's Fair. We got cream of wheat, we got juicy fruit, we have Hershey's chocolate. But the thing that's actually going to start a revolution is, for the first time, you have ragtime music. And millions of people from all over the world are hearing this music, not even at the fair, but on the outside. Why is that? Because the black performers weren't a part of the main spectacle of the fair. But on the outside the fairgrounds, at bars after hours, you could hear this new way of people playing music, which was not like anything people had ever heard, this European brass band tradition of boom, cha, boom, cha, boom, cha. But what they're gonna hear is music that's boom, cha, boom, cha, boom, cha, 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 boom, cha, 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 boom, cha. And maybe to you at this time, it seems like, okay, that's not that big of a deal. But in the 1890s, no one was playing that way. Nobody was combining these European harmonies with these American folk song melodies. And someone at the World's Fair is a name you probably know of now, which is Scott Joplin, who wrote the Maple Leaf Rag. You see how it's all kind of... Scott Joplin's born in 1868, right? In the border of Texas and Arkansas, Texarkana. His parents are both former slaves. He's born into freedom. And he has the possibility to do anything he wants in the world. The whole world is to his taking, and his parents desperately want him to go get a good education. What does he want to do? It's the story as old as time. He wants to be a musician. His dad leaves home when he's a young boy, and that's when Scott he begs his mother, please, please, please get me a piano. And she does, and he studies with Julius Weiss. He's a Jewish-German immigrant, and he's teaching him, right, what I'm talking about, that European kind of sound. But he's also got that right hand. He's learning all these different folk melodies, these pentatonic sounding stuff. Boo 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 doo 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 doo. And when you put them together, boom, syncopation. The first time in American history, Americans aren't concerned with trying to sound European. This new generation of human beings who were freed, former slaves, they don't have the same issues with trying to be European because they were never accepted. And this happens a lot in American art, which is the disenfranchised population. They don't really care about trying to fit in because they don't fit in. So what they create transcends what is normal, and they create something extraordinary. The same thing is true with the Hollywood in the 20s and 30s, right? All of those are immigrants who don't fit into culture, and they all go out west, these Jewish immigrants, and they create a new type of entertainment. Ragtime are these black performers who were formerly slaves, their parents were slaves, and they don't care about being European. They want to create their own identity that's built on the individual expressing themselves. And it's a music that can be danced to, it's a music that can be listened to, but it's mostly a music that can be felt. And that feeling, this new thing like, oh man, I want that feeling. Scott Joplin gave us a way to feel that way at home with sheet music. For the first time in American history, syncopated music is notated. And these new pieces, these ragtime pieces, Entertainer, Maple Leaf Rag, Paragon Rag, Elite Syncopation, and on and on. Scott Joplin gave us this wealth of information of how to get the syncopation in our home.
So guys, I was thinking, what if we play the Notre Dame fight song?
Dude, you ask us that every week, and we say no every week.
Yeah, why do you always say that?
Why do you think we always say that?
Oh, come on, man. Don't you guys have good memories watching Notre Dame back in the 60s and the 70s? Come on. No? No. You guys aren't that. All right, well, we're going to do it anyway. Roll off, please. Here we go. Let's do it again.
Oh no, this is not how we doing it today. No.
What? Oh, come on. We're having fun, though.
Well, I need something with a little more life, a little more pep, a little more funky, something that I can dance to, something with a little more syncopation.
Syncopation? What's that?
Mic check, 1, 2, 3. You ready? Okay, here we go. Hello, my name is Tawanda, and this is Wandering with Tawanda. Well, I know some of y'all been wondering what syncopation is. Well, you no longer need to wonder because Tawanda is here. Now, syncopation is when you place rhythmic emphasis on the upbeat. Instead of being on the downbeat, being predictable and boring, you're going to place emphasis on the upbeat. This brings life to the music and makes it more danceable. Now, one of the earliest examples of syncopation in American popular music is the use of clave in ragtime music. Now, clave is an Afro-Caribbean rhythm brought to us through the Atlantic slave trade, and it sounds a little bit like this. So instead of sounding predictable and on the beat like this, you're going to add that clave rhythm. Now remember to always add a little syncopation to your life. And remember, you never have to wander when Tawanda is here. Now let's roll off.
We've spent a little bit of time getting to know each other here in Camp Congregation. You probably know now that I can be a little bit of a music history nerd. So when we were in St. Louis a few years ago playing, I found out that Scott Joplin's home where he used to live at the turn of the century is there. So I contacted the folks, and we had the chance to hang with him, to see where he used to live with his wife, where he would teach music. He taught all different types of instruments, where he would play, and where he'd write his music. And it's still there, that structure. So now we're going to play a song that we played on Scott Joplin's actual piano. This is Elite Syncopations, his song, and it's us jamming out a little bit. y'all know what that sound means.
Yep, yes, I know that song.
Commercial break.
Hey friends, we're living through unprecedented times, but luckily we can all turn to art and music to feel a little bit better. Your camp congregation counselors are committed to pursuing our musical adventures, and with your support, we'll keep working hard, having fun, sparking your imaginations, and bringing you joy with our songs. There are a lot of different ways that you can support us. If you like listening to our music or want to rep us out on the streets, maybe consider buying our merchandise.
Vinyl, CD, t-shirt, Molly's guitar.
Or if you're a music student or just an all-around music appreciator, maybe you'll consider some
Private lessons. Study with a camp congregation counselor on your instrument. Or maybe you want to talk music history. Or comp and arranging. Or math. Some of us could do math. Whatever it is you're interested in, we want to help you.
Or maybe you're a chef. You could take cooking lessons with Dave. Sharing our music with you all is our favorite thing to do in the entire world. With your support, we'll keep up our antics at Camp Congregation until very soon when we see you at
At the club.
No, Fawn's not that kind of club.
At the club.
Theater.
And don't forget school.
We hope to be back in your town serenading you and you and you very, very soon. Until then, thanks again for supporting us here at Camp Congregation.
Oh, hi. We've been talking a lot about ragtime piano, and I know we all really want to talk about the guitar. So let's talk about the guitar. So while ragtime originated on the piano with amazing people like Scott Joplin, what's actually happening at this time is guitar players are trying to emulate it. We talked about this a little bit when we spoke about Memphis Minnie a couple weeks ago. If you don't remember, go check her out. She's one of my musical crushes. So people like Memphis Minnie, Big Bill Brunsey, Blind Blake, Blind Lemon Jefferson, people like that are like really important in the history of the guitar. They helped establish blues music, rock music, early R&B, and all these different American genres that are guitar driven. And what they were all doing was playing ragtime guitar. So taking all these concepts of syncopated rhythms, bass movement, piano, all into one. So the guitar became an orchestra. They would do things like this. The irony of what's happening is that how a lot of these players that helped establish what the contemporary guitar sounds like were doing, these people were trying to actually be contemporary in their time, which was playing ragtime on the guitar. So the irony is that what they did, people like, once again, remember these names, Big Bill Brunsey, Blind Blake, Blind Lemon Jefferson, Memphis Minnie, these people who were playing all the recording sessions were so deeply influenced by ragtime music and ragtime piano music, they put it on the guitar, and then those people established what the contemporary guitar sounds like. So even like Hendrix. We wouldn't have that if it wasn't for all these phenomenal guitar players trying to emulate a piano.
Oh yeah! Hey, it's Corbin. And I'm Frank. Today we learned about how ragtime is one,
never pee into the wind.
No. Ragtime is
easier with a spoonful of medicine.
No. We learned about how ragtime mixed what was popular to the majority with the influences from the history and culture from a smaller group of people. We learned about how Scott Joplin changed up the norm of what people were used to hearing. And he spread his new ideas by notating them We learned that ragtime basically helped craft America's sound. By notating and publishing ragtime, Scott Joplin helped other people create their sound and come up with their new ideas. So how about us now? What's one way that we can break up the norm in our homes, in our sphere of influence this week? Try mixing your personal history, identity, culture into something that's popular, into a popular song, to change up the norm. Publish or post something that you create this week so that other people can be inspired to create and post and share even more too. That's Corbin's Corner.
We out here on the corner, baby.
Thanks for watching the show today. If you like what you just saw, then be sure to subscribe to us on YouTube. You can do that by clicking subscribe below. You can also follow us and see what we're doing by checking out our Instagram and our website. Have a great rest of your day.